Cool. Thank you for that, Jordan.
A support
Hello.
after class on Wednesdays who loves to cook and is into salsa dancing.
Mabel is the website that's revolutionising disability support. It lets you find and choose people offering the support that you want. And because we're online, it's easy and affordable. Find your people at mabel.com.au.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to CripChat, your weekly podcast for everything disability. Today, I have with me is Ibby, Jonathan Shar, and Andrew Fairbairn, and myself, David D.
Hello. Thank
How
you
are
for
we doing
having
today?
us, David. Andrew, how are you going today?
Good, thank you very much, Ibby. Very well indeed. I've had a lovely day.
What are we going to talk
Beautiful.
about today?
Today, David, is a very, I guess, not so special, but it's an awesome episode today. We're going to be talking about parenting for people with disability. So, David,
So
you're a parent.
are we talking about parents with disability or parents that have disabled children?
Well, I believe we're talking about parents that have children, parents that are disabled and they have children. So, David, tell us about
Yes.
your experience. I believe you have children of your own.
Yes, I have children of my own. I've got two, one boy, one girl.
Awesome. And how old are they? If you don't mind discussing, David.
Well, the boy's a teenager and the girl's a bit younger. She's
Awesome.
below 10.
Oh yeah, Dave. So, in your experience, David, at what age were they, aware that you had a disability?
Well, as they grew up, they realized that I couldn't see, but I don't know exact age, but everyone's different. But they learn that because you don't want to walk onto them, because I'm blind, I don't want to knock them over or whatever. But they start to learn. Don't know no specific age, but I'm not 100% sure when. But every child is different.
Yeah.
Nice. So, David, having children that are growing up in your household.
Yes.
Did you find that they were, overprotective of you?
They are overprotective. They do stand up for you, and they make sure others don't. Like they make sure that they're overprotective of me and for other kids too. So they make sure that I don't walk into other kids.
Oh, wow. So, the bodyguards, so to speak.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Thank
Sounds
God.
awesome.
Yeah.
God bless them.
Thank God. So they make sure they don't like me hitting my head or hitting into anything, and they make sure other kids don't walk in front of me.
Awesome. No, that's
Yeah,
good.
cool.
That's good. Also, growing up, with children in your household, David, did you often play games with them? Have fun
You
with
know
them?
what? Have you ever played hide and seek with?
Oh, yeah.
I have played hide. I do play games. I played hide and seek, and it did find them hard to find me sometimes.
Oh, well, yeah. Your stature, you're quite tall, David. It's hard not to find you.
Yeah, when they're young, they
That's
don't know.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, God bless them. And David, also, are your children, more aware of disability now that they've been exposed
They are because you have to teach them. Some people can't see. Some people can't hear. Some people can't walk. They see them in wheelchairs. They know that. I think they're more experienced to helping others because they know other people need help, and
Oh
because
yeah.
I need help.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, David, what is your overall experience? Being a parent, having a disability, and being a parent to your two amazing children.
What's my experience?
Your overall experience here. What does it feel like?
It feels like, well, you sometimes feel sorry for the kids because they want to do things that other kids want to do with their parents, but they can't.
Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah. Yeah.
we sometimes try to try to accommodate for it somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's yeah. You try to I guess fit the norm.
Yeah, we accommodate
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. 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 Nah. All good. All good. Thank you very much for sharing, David.
You're welcome.
Did you have anything you wanted to add, Jonathan?
I was touching on asking Andrew if he could share some of his experience.
Yes, just to make mention, hello, Andrew. Thank you for joining us once again.
No worries.
And
Thank
thank
you,
you for
guys.
being on the show. So, Andrew, what's it like having, children of your own?
Can I just say something first, David? Thank you so much for sharing that. That's it's really interesting to hear another parent's perspective of disability, and especially your own disability and how it's impacted on your family. I know it's a very difficult thing to do, to share that information, and especially in a space like this. So thank you for showing your vulnerability. I really appreciate it. Gents, I don't know if
You're
I hope
welcome.
you don't. I hope you don't mind, but I'd like to pay my respects to the. I'm on Wajak Noongar country in Perth, in Western Australia. I live in a suburb called Girraween, and it's 12 kilometres north of the city. And I'd like to pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and future, and also to the people, to our Indigenous brothers and sisters with disabilities. And I'm hoping that they are living full and complete lives. So, Ibby, you asked me a question. Yeah, my experience, Jonathan, with as a parent of a child with disabilities. I have two children. My children are now 32 years old. They are a set of twins. I have a boy and a girl.
Wow.
So we hit the jackpot straight up. My son was he came when he was born. He came out blue, and so we believe that he had a lack of oxygen, and that then led to a diagnosis of global developmental delay when he was about 3.5 years old. And from that period and that time to where we are now, life is not the same. It's not the same as having a child without a disability, and then having one of each has been, it's that always that constant struggle from side to side. Our son, Ibby, you asked about games that we used to play. Our son had very poor fine and gross motor skills. So there was a lot of ball games. There was a lot of catch, release. There was a lot of things. He would go and we would set up like little obstacle courses for him to crawl through and then walk through when he started to walk, and start to recognize patterns and colors and numbers and things like that, which was we spent a lot of time at the State Child Development Centre. So guys, we're going back longer than you guys have been alive. So quite a long time.
Look, there's no judgment.
No, not at all, mate. Not at all, Jonathan. No judgment at all. No, I'm with you there, brother. So I think the way that early intervention and stuff is done now is a lot different to what it was done when my son was in that space of early intervention. One of the best things that we did for him, and especially with his fine motor skills, for his 5th birthday, he was someone bought him a kitchen knife. So like a chef's knife, and we spent then. We started working with him cutting up vegetables. So he would prepare carrots and potatoes and pumpkin and onions from 5 years old. But the whole thing was play, but with learning how to use a knife and how to use that knife skill. And so he didn't chop his hands off and chop his fingers off and become an amputee, which is very cool, right? That actually led to him. That actually led to him becoming working in the hospitality industry, where he works now. So we built from a therapy, from a gameplay, we actually helped him develop a pathway into employment. And now, as of 12, 18 months ago, he's 32 years old. He has his own business. He's fully self-employed.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
So you never know right from that play stage what's actually going to happen down the track.
You got to remember, Andrew, it's the foundations that are most important.
Oh, absolutely,
if you build the foundations from early, you're bound to get success later on.
Absolutely, 100%. I think, for someone like yourself, as being vision impaired, I acquired my disability. I'm a below knee amputee. I acquired my disability 7 years ago. So for me, it's a totally different landscape. And I love that story you told that about your children protecting you. It just comes to mind. My daughter she was home for Christmas because she lives in Brisbane, so she came home for Christmas, and we were at the shopping centre. And I'm a part-time wheelchair user. I don't use my wheelchair full time, but she would like literally. It almost like because I'll use a New South Wales parlance here, but it was like a scrum, rolling through the shopping and push people out of the way, like get out of the way.
Nice. Awesome.
So I think that they're trained, they're trained to go through that because she obviously grew up with her brother. And he went to education support centres, and he went to, and then went on to TAFE. She ended up joining the military, so she was in the army for 10 years. Then she went to work for an agency that we all know that will remain nameless in this particular space. And now she's actually because she's training to become an Auslan interpreter.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome.
That you never know what that foundation is going to do down the track. And so I'd encourage anybody listening to this is really focus on what the child can actually do, and then the skill sets that are going to need to grow into an adult. I mean, I'm a professional musician by trade. I'm the president of Physical Disability Australia. I sit on the board of People with Disability Australia. I do a lot of speaking engagements, but I guarantee you that if you gave me anything to do with mathematics, it's never going to happen. Ever.
Okay.
You can ask Ibby for that.
Sorry, David.
If you want any mathematics, you can ask Ibby for that.
I will do that. Thanks. I will do that.
Nice. So a treasure role is far less likely to happen.
Yeah, mate, I love playing music, mate. Seriously, maths and me.
What instrument do you play?
I'm a jazz saxophone player.
Oh, nice.
If you're interested in following me, my Instagram handle is the one-legged sax player.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
And I can say from personal
If we,
experience that listening to you play has gotten me through some rough times. So thank you, and just know that by showing your talent, you're showing that we are more than just conditions. We are human beings.
Yeah.
Most definitely, most
if
definitely.
if anyone has any questions, they can post it
In the comments.
in the comment.
Yeah, no, thank you for that, David. But thank you very much, Andrew. It's very insightful, gaining that, I guess, the life of having to, live with that disability and raising your wonderful children who have grown up to be successful young adults.
Yeah.
It's always good, to teach them young.
Yeah.
And I tend to do that with my cousins as well. And hopefully, when I get children in the future, they'll be exposed to people with disability, and they'll start accepting and
I think
engaging
yeah, no, I agree. I
with
agree
people
with
with
you. I
disability.
think from a young age, if children are exposed to it, and it's normal for them, it becomes normal. We shouldn't be seen as different to other people.
Yes.
And if your children are exposed to it and an understanding of it, like when my daughter talks about me, she always says that my dad is my dad, but he's also an amputee, and he's also an advocate, and he's also an activist, and it's a part of me. It isn't. It is not all about that, but it is a
It's
part of my life, and I can't get it back. It's not going to grow back. You know what I mean? So it
yeah.
is what it
Exactly.
is, and you
That's
do
right.
have to accept it. And I think children. I love talking to kids about robot leg, how did it happen, all that sort of stuff. I don't have a problem talking about that, because I
They,
think you're 100% right, Ibby, that if they don't learn it from a young age, then it's something that's going to become scary to them.
exactly.
Exactly.
The one thing I hate is when I'm walking and a kid asks, "Mom, why is he holding a stick?"
Yep.
And the
Yep,
parent
yep.
just tells them, "Quiet, shut right."
Yep.
I'll stop. I'll go, "Don't tell him quiet.
Yep.
Explain it to him at least."
Yep. 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 No,
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you.
Then they understand.
Yep.
You shouldn't require disability is not something that we're actually embarrassed about. It's a way of life.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you
Mate,
teach
it
the
is our life.
kids, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you teach the kids, that's why I think they should introduce disability as a subject at school.
I agree.
And
100%.
I agree as
Yeah.
well. Totally.
We wouldn't be here all tonight if it wasn't for an experience I had when I was 12 at my local shop because
What experience did you have at 12?
because one people may not know about me is I was actually the first physically disabled student to attend my local primary school.
So you were
So one day on Australia Day, in 2000, I was at my local shop and two younger children saw the way I walk. Using me walk out is the abnormal gait, but the reaction of those kids was sort of mocking, but it wasn't mocking because they intended to be mean. It was because they were not
aware.
exposed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were not aware.
exposed. They weren't exposed, and they weren't aware to your disability.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So you were 12, and you were on Australia Day, and they started making fun of you, or they asked you, "Why do you walk like
They
that?"
made fun of me. They
Hmm.
followed me around the shop and just imitated the way I walk.
They
And
imitated the way you walk.
and
So
the reason why I tell the story is for me that was the minute I knew I had to become a disability advocate
And you
because
just yeah. Sorry, go ahead,
I
brother.
was an ambassador at my primary school. I
you
was
Awesome.
the only representation of someone with a visible disability.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Okay.
Just you
Thank
keep
you for
doing what
sharing
you
that.
do best, Jonathan. You make your voice be heard. Show people that it's okay to be a part of your community, a part of your society. Yeah, fight for what. Yeah, you're right. You have the right to engage. Yeah, so you keep doing what you do best, Jonathan.
I we played through yesterday's day of action. We are here. Our, for me, when I hold up my entire plan, it is even more important than my passport because the passport but you will be the piece of paper that
Yep.
says I'm a citizen. But
Yeah.
the NCIS plan given to me agency to fully realize and I should I that citizen.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So
Yeah, it shows that you
you're
belong.
saying your your NDIS plan is more important than your passport because it gives you
Yes,
more.
It gives you a self identity. It makes
Yeah.
you belong. I'm
I
disabled and I'm proud, pretty much.
know
Defend our
I
NDIS.
know
Oh,
that
look at that. NDIS. Show it loud and clear. Good stuff, Andrew.
I know the reason I most loved being a part of physical disability or radio on the board or every day I continue me triumphant on that one.
Okay.
Sounds awesome.
What's our final?
Thank you for sharing, Jonathan. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome. You keep doing what you do best.
Yep.
David and Andrew, what are your any final thoughts? I'll go David first. Any final
I
thoughts you'd like to
I,
share with our viewers?
my final thoughts are children, if you can, allow them to be exposed to disability and don't hide it
Yep.
because if you hide disability from them, then they're not going to understand other people and what they go through.
Yep. Yep.
All right, it might be sensitive, but then a bit of sensitivity doesn't hurt no one.
Yep. It's true.
Awareness is important.
Thank you very much for that, David. Yeah, very important. And Andrew, any
But
final thoughts?
if I've got I've got two final thoughts. I've actually got one for parents and one for children. The first one being for parents. We learned very early on that having two children, and especially as twins because they're the same age, that we spent an awful lot of time with our son doing the therapies and doing the stuff, and we didn't spend that time as much with our daughter. We learned very early on that fair is not necessarily equal. So what that means is that she would sometimes say, "This is not fair." No, she's right. It's 100%. That's right. But it's that time is not equal because we had to put more time into the therapies and things like that. And as a parent, you've got to actually own that. And you've got to understand that is the way that young person is going to grow. So you do have to put time into it. And the other one was someone when my son was in high school, and his high school principal sat me and his mother down and said to them, "Don't think that you can limit his imagination and what he may be able to do."
Yep.
So I'll leave that with you guys.
So you can't tell a child he can't do that, but
because you don't know.
Because you don't know. A lot of people tell me you can't do this.
Yep.
Then I purposely do it just to show them that I can do it.
Absolutely, and that's action speaking louder than words. But as a parent, you've got that thing of being able to change the bias and the perception by saying, by not saying, no, you can't do that because you're disabled, or no, you can't do that because you're a boy, or no, you can't do that because you're a girl. How about we swip that around and go, you can do that because you are a human being.
Don't
be afraid to try because you're gonna fail, and you think like not knowing that you can't do it. We gotta try. If we fail, we fail.
Absolutely.
But at least
it's not going to kill you. No, trying's not going to kill anybody.
As long as you try and it's not life threatening.
Yep. 100% agree with you, David.
Yeah, no, that's good. Look, I would like to thank David and Andrew for joining us on today's podcast.
You're
sharing their
welcome.
experiences.
You're welcome back on any time.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Ibby, and thank you, David, for having me. I really appreciate it. And I will definitely come back and we can tackle some other topics. And I'm more than happy to have a chat with you guys for sure. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much to our viewers as well. You've been watching CripChat, your weekly podcast on everything disability. Join us next week as we talk about all things disability. But for now, enjoy your weekend, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My
Bye.
daughter, a support worker, after class on Wednesdays, who loves to cook and is into salsa dancing.
Mabel is the website that's revolutionising disability support. It lets you find and choose people offering the support that you want. And because we're online, it's easy and affordable. Find your people at mabel.com.au.